So I'm out scouting for some quick spots to camp in on the weekend. Just a quick place to maybe do some cooking and try out some new gear. But I also wanted to do a quick review on this BlueSkySea Dashcam for motorcycles. It's a front and rear facing camera, and it's a funny story. I guess the manufacturer found me on YouTube and said, hey, would you like to review our camera setup? And I said, yes. It's a funny story. I've been wanting one of these forever. Yeah, the first time I saw one was on a race bike on the track. And I think it was like $1,500. It was like way beyond anything I could justify back then. But it was recording front and rear video, and it went into a DVR, and I was like, man, I just want one of those so bad. And it was so long ago. I think it was actually 480p, just a real tiny image. But anyway, I've always wanted one, and just lately I have been thinking about adapting one of my old dash cams from my truck onto my bike, but it seemed like to waterproof it was the big issue. You can get dash cams now like under $100 to go in your vehicle, but these things are pretty rare. In fact, they've got a previous model. This is their latest model from what I've seen. I haven't seen any reviews of this product on YouTube, but I have seen the previous reviews from their previous product, and I think they're all kind of interesting. Looks like a decent product, very easy to install even for me. And the image is really nice. I didn't expect the image to be as good as it looks now, but as you can see, it looks like a TV screen. You can go back and forth between, front and rear cameras if you want to watch. If not, just do like I'm planning on doing, is basically using this as my as some of my adventure footage. So in other words, I don't have to keep my camera rolling all the time. This thing runs on a loop, so if it captures something really cool, great. If it doesn't, then I'm not filling up my cards and having to delete them. But it just looks like an option for me. So anyway, we're gonna roll down this way and check this out. I want to tell you a few reasons why you should look at this Dashcam DVR camera system, and more importantly, why you should think about getting a Dashcam for your bike in general. So there's a couple of reasons why you should get a dash cam for any vehicle you're driving. The biggest reason in my mind is for accidents. You get into an accident and you were not at fault, but the guy that you ran into or that ran into you says, no, he did it. It was his fault. He ran the light. That is a real good reason, and that's why I've always had dash cams, just in case he said, she said, and I wanted to be able to prove my point. And I've had to show my video a couple of times. So that came in handy. The other issue, financial, legal, in that realm is, let's say you're rolling down the road 55 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone, and Officer Friendly does not like your attitude or the color machine that you're riding, and he decides to pull you over and see if he can find anything dirty on you, see if he can catch you riding dirty. And just so turns out he's just fishing for drugs and money and things he can confiscate, maybe put some bad guys in jail, and he's just having a bad day, and you just happen to be on his radar that day. Well, let's say he writes you a ticket or whatever. He says you were doing wheelies or some craziness like that. If you got it all on tape, you can take that in front of the judge and say, Your Honor, Officer Friendly is lying. And I kid you not, this happened to me. And I got it all on tape. I published it in a YouTube video. I didn't do a really good job, but I made a funny video. I'll put that link up here if you want to check it out. But basically it was a video. Cop pulls me over he says I was doing one thing, and then he gives me a ticket for something else, and I was doing neither. And took it in front of the judge, and the judge threw it out. One of the best days of my life to give it back to the man. Well, that was a short trip. I thought that trail was a little bit longer than it actually was, but may have to go back down here. Let's just go up. Just go up this way. I want to show these cameras doing what they're supposed to do. So, put my chin bar down so there's not near as much wind noise. So the two big ones that I would suggest, the reasons why you guys should get one, is to protect yourself from liars, number one, and protect yourself from maybe Officer Friendly just got it wrong. Maybe he was looking at his radar and saw you, and it was actually the guy behind me. That's actually happened to me before too, except I was on the other end. I was not on the receiving end that time. So, interesting story. I was moving pretty quickly out in Texas. I was stationed in San Antonio. Guy was in the left lane doing the speed limit, and I went around him in his right lane, the center lane, down on the interstate, and I was buzzing. I was probably doing 75, 80, and I don't know, probably a 55. So I was going. Came up over the hill, and there is San Antonio's finest sitting in the medium. And I backed way off and got down to about the speed limit, where this joker that was clogging up the left lane was, and he pulled in behind both of us. I just kept right beside the dude. We were doing about 55. Dude pulled in behind my dude in the left lane, pulled him over, and probably wrote him a ticket. So if he would have had a dash cam, he might have gotten off there. And you might be saying, but Don, why didn't you go back and take the fall for that ticket? Well, number one, I got away with it. Number two, he was going slow in the left lane, so he was clogging up the left lane. I think he deserved the ticket. I don't think he deserved that ticket, but you know, passing lane, something like that. They're starting to enforce those now. You're sitting over there. Doesn't matter if you're going the speed limit. You're clogging up traffic. You're making people do crazy things like me. Just desserts, you might say. I just rediscovered this road the other day. I've been riding it a good bit, especially when I got short amount of time, get out and do my thing. Anyway, and then the reason that I'm really excited about it, the reason I am excited about this front and rear facing camera is that I can always have, theoretically, I can always have that image. I can always capture the shot. You may remember a video I put out recently where I almost ran over a deer, and the only reason I got that shot, and it wasn't even a good shot, it was the last 5 frames of this time lapse that I was rolling before the battery quit on me. The last 5 frames were 3 of them were of this deer bouncing across, almost killing me. So had I not just coincidentally been filming a time lapse, I never would have gotten those pictures. But I would like to get all the pictures, or at least the important ones to me are coming up over this beautiful rise and seeing the sunset or the sunrise or whatever, riding down the canyon. Just think about the value of that if you want to go back and look at that later on. Now you got to save those pictures. You can't just loop for hours and hours, because that's what this camera does. That's what a DVR, a dash cam does. It loops unless you decide to save the images. And this little remote down here will allow you to save the image. All right, we're not going that way. We're not going with traffic. We're going the other way. Wow. I guess school let out. It's really 4 reasons, I would say, if you're like me, 4 reasons to have a dash cam or a DVR in your vehicle, and especially on your motorcycle. And the 4th one is it not only captures those moments that I'm not going to capture, I have some kind of image to put on my film to tell the story. 4 reasons: crashes, insurance, liars, dirty cops, or just bad cops. Or not, hell, they don't have to be dirty, just bad. Not a good cop, or maybe having a bad day. Your word against theirs. You got the evidence. It holds up in court. That old judge that was asking me how I was videoing while I was riding my motorcycle, I just answered, I always video when I'm riding, Your Honor. I didn't tell him how. Well, actually, I think I did. I think I got a camera mounted to my helmet. It's always recording. Not really. In fact, nowadays, it's probably filming, on a typical ride that I do, it's probably filming 5% or less of the time I'm riding. Because there's, quite frankly, this is not spectacular. I mean, the leaves are popping out, the pollen is popping out, but there's a whole lot prettier rides in Alabama. But let's say I come across something amazing down here that I'm not expecting. A naked woman on the side of the road. I got it all captured on video. If I turn around and go back, she may not be there. She may not be there. Those are my reasons why you should get a dash cam DVR for your bike. You never know what you're going to capture. It may be the thing that saves your butt. It may just be, wow, check this out. I got this cool recording on the way home or on my little trip or whatever. That may be all it is. But if you're an adventurer like me, I would definitely recommend it because, hey, you're always recording. You will always have the picture. You will always get the picture that you need. In theory, and I would say it's probably going to make your videos more interesting.
So the bottom line is you will be seeing more of these cameras in the future, and if this sounds like something you're interested in, getting rid of the liars that you run into easily, quickly, they might cost you some money, and it's pretty cool having something like this on your motorcycle. So I'll leave a link below for the B5M and links for the other videos and the installation video. It's a whole lot easier than you think it might be. Even a dummy like me can install it. So anyway, check those videos out, and I'll see you in the next one.